Hey cats, EDDBUD here. You may remember me from the band Mini Beast and the Carbon Crackers and Midsole Melvin and the AHA Grinders. It's time for another yay or nay. A show where I look at some forthcoming future footwear or recently released running shoes. This isn't me saying a shoe is amazing or terrible. I can't know that until I get it on foot, but I will comment if I am going to pick up a pair to review in the future or not, and give my reasons behind the selections. So just to make it very clear, a few people seem to suggest it's me sort of reviewing the shoes or something. I'm not quite sure how they can take that away from this, but yeah, just to make it very clear as a freshly cleaned window. First shoe up today is the Saucony Triumph 20. A couple of leaked images here of the Triumph 20. We all know the 19 was only released, I don't know, not long ago, a few weeks ago I think. Certainly on sportshoes.com it's right up there near the top of their newly released models. I was a bit amazed and befuddled that they didn't include their fantastic flagship PWRRUN PB material in the Triumph 19. Everybody wanted it, but they just stuck with the PWRRUN Plus, which is a slightly more malleable version of Boost, really. That's what it felt like to me. PWRRUN PB though is light, still quite dense, but that does mean it supplies a little bit of stability underfoot and a sense of cushioning that many runners crave. I think this could be the slightly more balanced long run shoe that I'm looking for. I really liked the Triumph 17 when I tried that out. Quite a plush upper, and I think we've got that type of thing again here on the 20. It does look like there's some nods though to the Endorphin Pro upper with those midfoot ribbons, so like fabric straps there, but they really do work on the Pro too, so I'm not going to diss them. I bet the foam creeps up around the back of the heel area there. I don't think it'll all be underfoot, there's just too much of it there. It'll be like a clog otherwise. It looks like it's there just to provide a little bit of guidance, like a ghost walk tour guide in York. I'm a sucker for PWRRUN PB. You'll know that if you've been watching the channel for a while, guys. So it's got to be a yay for the Triumph 20. Whenever it gets released though, it could be some time yet. I may be waiting till 2022. That seems like a very long way off right now. Maybe we will all be dressing like David Bowie in his Ziggy Stardust period by then. There's every chance. You know that there's been some weird stuff happening in the world the last couple of years, so I never discount anything. Feel a bit weird today. I drank some of this Fanta grape drink. It was really weird. And ever since then, I've not felt quite right. Shoe 2. A few people have been asking in the comments section for me to think about reviewing some cheaper shoes from Nike, rather than all their flagship models. So I thought, yeah, why not? And I did stumble across one actually that I think might be really good. So today we'll take a look at the Nike Air Zoom Windflow 8. I can't find this one at all in the men's sizes on the Nike site, but I have found it in this fetching women's colourway. So looking at the previous shoe to this, Windflow 7, that appeared to have Air Zoom pods in both the forefoot and the heel, but I think in the 8 we've just got it in the forefoot. I think something similar perhaps to what we've seen in the Pegasus 38 or the Vomero 16. And fans of the Pegasus 35 and 36 will be really pleased to hear that the Windflow 8 has got Cushlon as its midsole carrier. So it kind of sounds like a forefoot loaded Pegasus 35 or 36 really, and it actually looks quite like one too. Both of those had full length Zoom Air, but this one's just got it in the forefoot, so it's kind of like a middle ground between the Pegasus 36 and the 37. I think with the tongue you've got that booty style construction that we're all used to these days, where the tongue itself is attached to the lining of the shoe. So it kind of feels a bit like a sock, but you've already got a sock on, maybe. I like those fly wire cables either side of the foot. I always like those, just seem to give a really good consistent lockdown without too much pressure over the top of the bones, you know. All of these things make me think of Pegasus shoes, the Pegasus models of recent years. Even the profile of the midsole unit is very similar, what do you say guys? But we do have a slightly wider forefoot surface area here, so I think if those models of the past work very well for you, the Windflow 8 might be a good bet. Could work out as being a really good daily option. If you don't like React, for example, you want to go back to Cushlon because you enjoyed that, this is the one for you by the looks of it. Don't really hear anything of it. I haven't seen many people do reviews of this shoe at all. I'm very tempted to pick up a pair of these once I've burnt through the Vomero 16. Shan't be too long on that one. So I think for this 90 Earth Credit Nike shoe that doesn't seem to have any fanfare, it's going to be a yay from me. Shoe 3 is the made to be remade Adidas ULTRABOOST. You can now grab these special edition ULTRABOOST shoes from Adidas. They seem to be a mishmash of several different ULTRABOOST models that we've seen over the last few years. But these have got a vastly different vibe going on across the whole shoe. It's part of the Adidas Made to be Remade series, which feature no additional dyes or glues to put them together. So I think that makes them a little easier for them to separate up the parts and then grind them up, I suppose, and recycle them into new shoes. I think it makes the whole process a little bit easier. Perhaps it's a lot cheaper, I suppose. And it's good for the environment. It's a good thing. We need to get on the case with that. If you haven't been, please do your bit, guys. By the looks of it, there's like a QR code on the tongue that you can scan in and arrange to send them back for recycling. Once they're worn out, of course. I mean, you might want to wear them into the floor and completely destroy them, of which there'd be nothing left to send back. I do see some pictures of people wearing shoes up to like 1,000 miles and stuff, and there's not a lot left of the midsole or outsole, and you do wonder what damage it's doing to their knees and feet and everything. So the upper here seems a bit closer to that of the ULTRABOOST 20 and 21, sort of mixed together. And the midsole and outsole closer to the ULTRABOOST 19. Though a sock-like fit is advertised as one of the key features by Adidas themselves, they do suggest that you go up a whole size. So I'm not quite sure how that works, but quite a weighty 319 grams overall, in the standard measured size, of course, which is ever-changing, actually. Manufacturers seem to switch that up all the time at will to make the shoes look that little bit lighter. A great idea, but I'm not going to be dropping 160 Earth credits UK. This without any real info about actual benefits here that we're going to see. I mean, as in, how do we package the shoes to send them back? Do we have to package them in a sort of more minimal way? And what shipping methods are going to be used? Some shipping methods are going to be a lot more impactful on the environment. So a yay for the idea, but a nay for the shoe on this occasion. I know there's no dyes in it or anything like that, but it just doesn't really appeal to me, this one. Shoe 4 today is from On Running, the CLOUDSTRATUS 2. I mean, it's got a good name. I always used to like Stratos. Blue Stratos, remember that? Was there somebody called Stratos or something in He-Man? Maybe my mind's just a bit mixed up today. It's the Fanta grape juice. So an on-running shoe here, and I'm sure sooner or later that one will appear that seems fun to try out and will fit into my training. I don't feel though that this one is it. I've seen some quite middle of the road reviews for this shoe so far. People not really wanting to say anything terrible about it, but they're not really saying anything that good either. I don't normally go and look at reviews of shoes beforehand, but I think if I'm going to drop 150 Earth credits, I did need to put a bit of extra background research in here. So this appears to be a max cushion shoe for longer runs, which I've got to be honest, never really seemed to work out all that well for me. Max cushion shoes just seem like sponge clogs. I never seem to get an awful lot out of them. Just get very wet and soggy and like I've got big halibuts on my feet or something. I'm not sure that max cushion things are something that a beanstick man requires. So this is the second version of the shoe. I think they've switched up the layers here of that Cloud Tech foam, which does suggest it's going to be nice and squashy, but I think Mike Fuzi did comment that it's actually quite a firm ride. 305 grams or 10.7 ounces in the standard size, so it's quite low for a max cushion shoe, but as somebody that doesn't buy the shoe and run 3 miles in it and send it back, I'm just not really happy to gamble on this one. I don't think it's going to bring anything that other shoes in my rotation that I haven't taken to 100 miles yet are going to give me. There's loads of other reviews out for this one, guys, if you want to go and check it out, and I think they'll tell you all you need to know. I'm pretty sure that sooner or later an on-running shoe will appear that will fit into my rotation. This one's not speaking to me either. It's a nay for me. Too many Earth credits. Too rich in Earth credits for me, that one. What do you make of these 4 guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. A quick musical interlude for you. The other day on one of the musical interludes I featured Bernard Butler's album People Move On. I think he's a fantastic guitarist. When you put him together though with David McCalmont, you get magic. Their album from back in 2002 is entitled Bring It Back. In fact, it's their second album. The first one's fantastic as well. The Wall of Sound track Falling is just wonderful. A real showcase for David McCalmont's fantastic falsetto. I really like the very pared down and quiet track Blue. It's all about the weather. Kind of thinking about that track right now because it's tipping with rain outside. Good old summer. Once again, this one provides an incredible space for David McAlmont to show off his vocals, which are quite astounding actually on this track. The range and the power are just wonderfully backed by Bernard Butler's woody acoustic guitar. It seems like an album where actually the two of them have really kind of made up and they're trying to make up for lost time, I suppose. It's not all hard guitars and acoustic folk tracks, so Bring It Back's almost like a disco type number. And again, you got the wall of sound on the final track, which is called Beat. Ridiculously overlooked, this one. I can't understand why it wasn't an absolutely ginormous hit. Maybe it will be one day, who knows. But when you get Bernard Butler and David McAlmont together, you're onto a winner. Do go and check this one out, guys. Bring It Back by McAlmont and Butler. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and sticking with me to the very end. It's always appreciated. If you haven't done so already, guys, please help the channel out by clicking that subscribe button and also the bell for notifications of when the new videos are rolled out for you. It does help the channel out too if you give this video a thumbs up like and also share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you